Dead Art Studios. Trying a different filming setup today, so you can see the painting a bit better. Makes sense. I'm going to use some of my graduate acrylics, just the cheap sort of acrylics you can get from any art shop. Had them for years and just trying to get through them and make some nice paintings. I'll start streaking a bit of this vermilion hue along the bottom, and today we're painting on A5 Fabriano 1264. It's 300 GSM and it's a mixed media paper, and I got this from my local art shop, and I have been using watercolour paper that I got off at Amazon and I quite like that, but I do have to say that I think I prefer this, so it might be what I'm using from now on, although I've still got a lot of other random paper to use anyway, so we'll get through it. Right, I was going to do something with blues today, so let's do that. But we'll put that a bit further up. We've just got some ultramarine, and we'll put that up here. Get the last bit out, squeeze the tube, there we go. And you know, I'm just putting, I want it orangey down here, bluey up there, so that's where I'm putting the paint. And I'm going to do the same technique that I do a lot when I'm just sort of doing these nice quick easy paintings. You know, you've had a long day, you want to do some painting, so this is a style of painting that I do just to unwind a bit in the evenings, and then I have got my other bigger paintings that I will be working on, so you know, stick by if you want to see those, they will be coming. I don't like it when it's squeezed in. I'm trying to, you know, if you do that with a cola bottle as well, leave it in the fridge. Need a wet brush. Got my wet brush, a bit of paper towel. Just dab off a little bit of the water. Don't want it too wet. And we're just going to do horizontal strokes, covering all the paper, making sure there's no paper showing. Don't mind if all the colours mix together, but I don't want them to get muddy, so if they start getting muddy, then that's when I tend to stop. It's got to be nice and bright and vibrant for this style of painting anyway. Alright. And even at this point, just looking for the beginnings of a sort of abstracted landscape scene. So, you know, if there's any strokes that you think don't really match with that sort of idea, then you want to try and smooth them out. Still got some paper showing there. Alright, and a little bit there as well. Okay, wash the brush, super important. And this is kind of the important bit. So, got a Stanley knife blade, and this is from a sort of surface scraper tool that you can like get off Amazon and stuff, and that's just got like a little razor blade in it. I mean, it's not a razor blade, but it's basically the same thing. Some nice upward strokes, and then see what we get. That's pretty white. That's a bit better. And then I might just come across couple of times and disturb the paint, and so the paint that I put on first is going to have stuck to the paper a bit more, and then that slightly more fluid white paint on the top is pulled away in some places and not others, and it gives this cool effect. Alright, so we've done that, and now what we're going to do is try and create some structure to the background, and I'm going to use, I always use a darker colour, so maybe quite often black. I might go for alizarin crimson this time, something a bit different. Let's try that, and I think it'll kind of work on the lower portion, so I'll squirt a little bit of that down onto the board. And this is just an old bit of shelf that I've been using for about a year now. Right, so I'm going to place it on and then stroke. Didn't quite get what I wanted, and I think this time I'm going to go for some higher, bigger upward strokes than sometimes I do. See what happens. This one as well. Bring up there. Good. And then just up there. That's interesting. Stroke off to the side. It's a bit too much. Okay. Let's bring that up there a bit more. Not so sure about that last move I did, but you know, you can kind of rescue it sometimes with more paint. Sometimes you just totally mess it up. You have to give up, throw it away, start again. Hope it looks better in the morning. One of those things. There we go. Okay. And I'll do the same sort of down here. And then I'll scrape this paint off of here onto this one. This is where I get paint everywhere. That's fine. Just wipe it off. And then just try, I always, just as a general rule, try and use all my paint if I can. And you know, if you're just painting intuitively anyway, then it's a good sort of little basic rule. Unless, of course, you really do get something that you're super content with, and then just have to rinse it away, I guess. Right. Let's do some kind of verticals up on this side. Maybe scrape this away a bit. Reveal something a bit there. Probably on this side as well. Just do a little scraping away. Right, so that's the crimson. Now it's looking a bit chaotic, so what I can do is I can wipe all the paint off the blade, and then I can try and make it a bit more precise looking and just pull some of the paint off the painting. Okay. Maybe something just a bit over here. You know, I'm going for a sort of abstract, vaguely structural kind of expressionist type painting. So we're not going to worry too much about where it's going. It's just a matter of deciding when I'm happy with it, and obviously it needs to look nice or interesting. So these are some vertical strokes off the corner of the blade. Up here, I have cut myself 3 times, wiping the paint off the blade, so, you know, watch out. Okay, I'll create a new sort of horizon on that side. And then we're going to find some purple, dioxazine purple, and we're going to do the same sort of idea, put some extra layers on. I think I'll start kind of here and pull up pretty fast and leave the paper pretty early on. That was a lot of paint on there. So let's see how that's going to kind of work with difficulty. Verticals. And then we're going to pull from the bottom as well. I'm just going to carry on with my verticals. And go quite high up this time. This side's a bit too thick and sort of, messy really. So I'm going to try and simplify a bit. I might do something a bit odd and just drag through. See what that does. Interesting. Let's follow it as a sort of new horizon line, a new horizontal line at least anyway, in the painting. And then follow some verticals. Right. I feel like I'm losing the battle with this one. I don't know, it's quite interesting, but this area here is a bit troublesome. So I don't know, can we do something? Or, I mean, the sky's nice. Down here's not really vibing with the rest of the painting. So what I might just do is get some white, quite a lot, and we'll try and like go over a bit and see what happens. Like that. Go all the way from the bottom actually. Okay, right off to the edge there. Let's get the brush and rework it a bit, because we might be able to basically do the same idea and the details from before might come out quite interesting underneath. So let's see what happens. Horizontal strokes across. So I think we will call the first attempt a failure, but we're going to try and bring something out of it. So I'll go and wash my brush. New horizon. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's scratch. I've got a little bit of paper from the kitchen roll there. Scratch some vertical lines in. Okay, some more. Some more. Okay. Sort of drag up. I think I want a bit of paint, a bit more alizarin crimson down here. Yes, that's looking all right. So I've got a kind of quite a well blended sort of foreground, almost like if it was a photo it'd just be kind of a little bit out of focus, a bit bokeh-esque. Then we've got some sort of reedy grass-like structures coming out. I'm just going to hint at those a little bit more down here. Now can I do something to the tops of these and make them a bit more prominent in some of the strands. Maybe just this one a bit. Like some little side leaves or branches coming up. Okay, so now this is going to be a horizontal drag, and here. Okay, that's quite interesting. This one across the top. Okay, and then we'll do some upward pulls. Now I've got a sort of horizon line coming here, so let's put a sort of purple horizon in. clean the blade, get some purple, sort of just drag it through. And I might just do a little bit down here as well first. Okay, looks alright, and then I might do a little bit here, hint at some other kind of structure coming in and make it a bit more angular. Okay, maybe some couple of verticals, and that's where it started going wrong last time, so I'm a bit scared of them now, but that seems to be doing all right. Just one here. Right, and now we'll do this horizon line. Didn't get the paint I wanted onto the paper, but we'll try again. That a bit more of a drag. I think that's looking quite nice. And I think there's going to be 2 more little elements that we're going to add, and then we're going to call this one finished. So sometimes I like to just use a corner and drag horizontally across, make a kind of wavy pattern just to add some interest to that kind of blank section in the middle and kind of create a bit more perspective. Sometimes it just totally messes it up, but you know. Right, just get a bit of purple there and just try and erase or augment, shall we say, that one. Okay, not sure what I think about that bit, but that might be something that, you know, looks better when you look at it again with fresh eyes. And one last thing, a little bit on the top here, just to do a little bit more of a sort of sky effect, so just a bit of white. And I think we kind of saved this one from oblivion. So scoop it up. There's my blade. There. Scoop it up. Got a kind of a streak there, and then let's kind of blend it out a bit. Right, let's try some trails through this. And then just here as well. Okay, I'm going to stop there. Normal speed video just to show the painting to the camera. And there we go. And then I guess I'll show you guys as well. Let's see. The camera focus. So there you go, sort of like reed bed foreground and some sort of distant hills and mountains and then some strange clouds. So I guess I can do another one. So tape down, we'll put some colours on. I'm going to be nice and quick with this one, flow a bit more, so we'll get some alizarin crimson, we'll get some, let's invert it a bit as well, let's put the orange at the top, And then let's get some blues down at the bottom. So this one's just primary blue, Liquitex Basics paint. This one, I've got all sorts of different paints, so I'm always mixing and matching. And for my bigger paintings, I try and stick to artist grade paint. My bigger paintings, I do use nicer paint, but for these ones, I use a mixture of everything, however I'm feeling at the time. Sometimes if I want some really potent colour, I'll get the golden acrylics out. Right, so I have got what's known as a messy blade here, so I need to clean that off. And we do our brush is nice and wet, a bit too wet, but you'll see how that rolls. And we do our horizontal strokes again. Okay, quick wash of the brush. And so this time I am going to go straight with black and start creating some foreground structure just with black, and it can just mix into this last bit of purple here that's drying off on the board. Right, let's have a look. Just come here, there we go. Here, make sure that I'm coming from below the tape where I've taped it so that there's not a slightly odd line. Just gone straight into some long, thin verticals this time. And then a bit, a bit lower over here. A little one down there. And that's not quite joined up. There we go. It's not quite joined up again. There we go. Okay, now just want to make this horizon line that's very low on this painting, but that's okay. Just make that a bit more prominent. There we go. Now I am going to do some little verticals that are quite low, right down here at the bottom, and just a couple here too. Nearly done that bit. Right. Okay. last one there. Just a couple of little drags. No, don't like them. Let's blend them out. And I think I will pull a small amount of white paint over just to brighten it up. Get it like that. And then this one I will blend with the brush again. Drag across. Okay, that's nice. Okay, and I do want to bring these lines back that are sort of blended out. Leave a big bottle of paint in front of your painting so you can't see it. Basically done, I think. Just a little bit of black over there. I don't really know why. Done. And if you want to see these, you can, the actual time lapses, they're on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts. And then I'll show you this painting. Like getting the focus, tap on it there. There we go. So that's 2 paintings tonight. I'll be back soon and we'll do some more, or maybe something else.